One of the things that I'm truly great at in my life is chillaxing and relaxing. I just love it. It's my favourite pastime, and my favourite place of doing it is on my sofa. My feet up, nice cup of coffee, and I love watching my Netflix. I just love watching those movies. I'm really good at it. One of the movies that I watched the other day that I'd like to recommend to you is the one in this little box here. It's called Lucy. If you've seen it, you may well have enjoyed that movie. If you haven't, watch it. I just really recommend it. Stars Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman, and the premise of the movie is that a young lady has to become she's forced to become a drug mule, and as she's carrying these drugs, they break out inside of her. And the thing about these drugs is that they increase your brain power. Now, the story in the movie is that us human beings, we're only using a very small percentage of our brain power, just 10%. But this drug increases your usage, and so she starts using 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. She gets up to 100%. But once she gets into like 40, 50, 60% of her brain power, she starts to become superhuman and starts to develop and evolve superhuman powers. And it got me to thinking, because often the movies that you watch, there are real insightful learnings for you. There's certain passages and some of the funniest movies that could really help you to get to fantastic places in your life. And this movie, Lucy, got me to thinking. I love the movie, by the way, as well, because my second daughter, she's a beauty. She is called Lucy too, so I kind of like the movie just because of that. But just think, we're only using 10% of our brain. If you, me, if we were to start increasing the usage of our brain, if we were to put 100% of our brain power into things that we wanted to develop within ourselves, where would we be? If you were to put 100% of your brain power into belief in yourself, into your self-confidence, what type of person would you become, and what could you go on to achieve? If you were to put 100% of your brain power into your career, or into a relationship, or into your happiness, or into getting that house that you want, getting the car, going on the holidays that you want, putting money in your bank account. If you were to put 100% of your brain power into all of those things, where would you be? What would you be doing? And if you were really pushing the happiness, you'd be in a happy place. That's for sure. Now, there's an old saying that anything that we focus on, anything that gets focused on in life, in your personal life or in business life, will improve because you're focusing in on it. So here's the thing, here's the notion, here's the learning from this film. Are you focusing on putting your brain power, and I mean really maximising what you can, into the things that you want to get out of your life? Because the tendency for us is to focus on the negative. Many people spend their time bitching and a moaning and a weeping and a wailing about how hard life is for them, how unfair it is, about looking at all the negativity, and they spend a lot of time in these endeavours and looking at the negative side. If only they were to switch their focus and to flip their energies, that focus, their brain powers, into focus on where they want to go, where would they be? And it is strange that when you watch movies, you may have found this out for yourself, but there are truly powerful messages in some of the funniest films. One of the films that I love is Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey. And the premise of that movie is that he goes out on a mission just to say yes to any opportunity that comes his way, any challenge, any question, any ask of him, he's got to say yes to. And it's a funny movie. But here's the thing. If you were to say yes in your life more than you say no, and if you were to apply 100% of your brain power on those things, here's a question: where would you be? Look at those movies with another pair of eyes. Look for the learnings. They're everywhere around us. And just think, put your brain power, put your focus into the things that you want to develop and expand in your life. Say yes more than you say no. And where will you go? Where will you be? And what will you be doing?